I have a question for you,
Hmm.
which is, what do you think working in memoir does for like any writer, regardless of like what their area is, like whether they're a script writer or a journalist or a novelist or, you know?
Well, most of us are very, very clear about our own perspective. Where we come from, why we believe what we believe, what went into making that. And memoir makes you access all that and you put it into the lens of it already happened. So it builds subtext. You already have the subtext there because you know what you were thinking
Yeah, yeah.
at the time something happened. So I just think it's a remarkable tool because you have all the components as a fully realized character yourself in life that you need to make good characters. So I think it's amazing. And I think it's also helpful um, how you got to something deep, how you get to a deeper emotion and a deeper truth for yourself. And it's
Right.
real.
And
And
you
so
also just, yeah,
cows shit from Shinola.
you just made me think of something else, which is that like the one area that is probably hardest for anyone to be objective about is your own lived experience, right? And so, in a way, if you dig deep to 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 unearth lots of um, unexamined aspects of things that are from your own life, that it seems like that could maybe be like the best way of getting yourself kind of um, prepared for what you have to do in anytime you write a character in any of your work, if it's fiction or it's a screenplay or a play, you it's going to fall flat unless and until you find all the angles, all the layers, right? Like it's like,
Exactly. And that's why when I used to teach high school and I would teach monologue writing,
yeah,
that's what we always started with the I monologue from their own experience. And I did that also in my other classes with, adults because you can get to it. You can get to it fast and it's meaningful and you can see how exciting it is rather than trying to say like, I don't know, I have this idea, and ideas percolate from within us and they're a reason why they are interesting to us.
right,
So
right,
because
right,
they're
right.
part of us. So I think it's just such an exciting marriage, but I think people are petrified of memoir because it's raw. There's a real um opening
Also,
yourself up.
also, look, if I've been telling myself the same story about something that happened to me 30 years ago for the past 25 years, it's dangerous, like to re-examine it, right? I mean, who knows what could happen? Maybe I've been telling myself a lie this whole time. Like what, that's not, I mean, that could
On the
shake
flip
a
side
person
of
up.
that,
Yeah.
right, and on the flip side of that, it's revelatory because
Right.
we're evolving. So when you find something and when you're in a different place in your life and you look back at it, you go, that's why I hated my mother. It was
Right.
because of that situation, because of that feeling that I had, where you realize it, and then you realize that you can maybe love your mother
Mm-hmm.
because you understood the situation more clearly. But it takes a very deep dive into character, yourself in this case, to
Right.
get there.
Right. But so when we have this workshop coming up, we're going to have like 2.5 days, basically. Well, like 2 days and like change, a couple hours, where people will really have an opportunity in a very safe space, because I think both you and I make a safe space. That's like a big
Definitely.
priority. With only 5 other writers, to really go to some maybe unexpected places, which could, I feel like it could lead to like projects that people hadn't even imagined they might want to work on. What do you think?
I think that's true, and it because it's cathartic, and it also makes you think, you know, we often write characters for the theater, or we put the parentheses around our memoirs where we still need to explore and discover because that's interesting to us.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
you know, so you might think, you know, just like when you write a play, all of a sudden you get to the last line and you go, oh no, that's where my play starts. Oh, but I
Yeah.
needed to do all this other work. Sometimes that's it for the memoir. I needed to talk about my childhood and things that were lighter and fluffier. And then the last part where I was going to end that memoir, ooh, this is where my memoir starts, the parentheses around that. And so I think with no interruptions, giving yourself that gift of time that's consistent. You know, you're being fed, you're being, you know, given a place to do this. And I think that that is invaluable. And that's something with other people. So you're witnessed, so you're held, I think
Mm-hmm.
is really vital. We're coming out of the pandemic where we haven't been able to do that for each other. And so I think this workshop, Mining the Depths, would be just I'm looking forward to it just to snuggle up in it and see what comes up for me as I work with other people and yourself on their own work.
Me too. Me too. All right. Well, everybody, we've talked a little bit about this workshop. You can look below for more information. Click on the link to do a little bit more digging about what we have in mind. And of course, Suze and I are open to questions. We are going to make it deadline, though. I think you should be signed up by Wednesday of next week if you really want to come. Okay. Thank you. Bye.